Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. On Sunday morning, I made you aware on Twitter, Telegram, on Instagram as well that we were potentially going to continue going higher. And the reason for that wasn't necessarily the technicals. In this case, it was to do with the liquidity, the stop losses of shorts that were accumulating right above the price at 64K. We mentioned all of that. I made you aware. Only 250 people were able to see that, and at the moment what you're gonna see on the price action is precisely that we went for those shorts, we trapped them, and they got trapped. This is their call, and they got punished on Monday morning. Interestingly as well, the price came down from the closing price of CME, which was 63 point something. We went down to 62.6, and that also helped the price going higher. Remember that our strategy consists, if the price comes down during the weekend, typically we want to close that gap or as soon as the week starts, and that was an incentive as well, together with that liquidity at the top end. What we are seeing in here is the RSI on the 4 hour. We talk about the target of 54. We fulfilled that already on Friday. The aggressive one, we got $300 away from RSI 66, but over the weekend, we came here to test support, and we finally made it to 66. That happened at 2 a.m. on Monday. Um, Not just that, that's the aggressive target. That's the one I was thinking, can we really do it? We don't have the global liquidity and all the other aspects to break into all-time high, but I respect TA. I continue to drive my decisions based on TA, even though I look into fundamentals, liquidity, but all of that can be tricked, and Wells can decide still to put an all-time high. And the way we can tell that that's going to happen is from TA. At least that's the way I do it. You can see that we had not just the aggressive target fulfilled, but also in terms of the global breakout, we have at the moment confirmed it as well. We have a closing candle on the 4 hour at 6 a.m. confirming it, and as we speak we are retesting it. So this live candle at the moment is retesting the global breakout that breaks above a level that we couldn't get since 20 of September. That's great. That's quite bullish. Expect now the RSI to fool around in this area. I'm going to show you some resistance levels that might show us that maybe it's not only going to retest at 66, but maybe we'll go a little bit lower. Um, Maybe even to test 58 RSI to protect this support. Obviously, we don't want to see a breakdown in here. It is the 4 hour that will put a little bit this move in risk, not necessarily full in risk, because even from here we can break above it. We have seen Bitcoin faking us out in that way. Just a heads up, breaking below this, we start reducing the chances that this global breakout is a valid one. Looking at the daily time frame, we can see that we broke out from the W formation, and we are now being held by the resistance at 64.7, which actually was a valid one in here, and a little bit before as well here, and support in there. So it is significant, and at the moment we need to respect it. This might come back for a retest. That wouldn't be a bad thing, especially if something bearish happens in the market. Of course, we don't want to revert the whole thing. So breaking below 63, 63.2, if you want something more accurate, wouldn't be something great to have at the moment. Of course, the worst scenario is to break and go now for the 57K. That will definitely put a lot of stress. On open interest, we also have great news. We talk about Sunday morning. I hope you watched that video. It was only watched by 250 people. I cannot believe it, because we say that we were retesting the breakout of open interest into the third area in here of all this range of open interest throughout more than 6 months. It's actually going to become almost like 8 months. And we say on Sunday we are retesting. If we hold that, it's very likely that we are going to re-enter the top area of the open interest towards the 21 billion. And by doing so, Don't be surprised that we fulfill at that point the full target, which is 67, and is right there at the resistance of the megaphone pattern. That will make bulls step in. Of course, that's the area of the highest risk, being here at the top of the megaphone pattern. But the big price starts all this area in here. This spans all the way to almost 77K, I think. I'm going to show you in the liquidity just in a minute. But if we get in here once again, of course, that's the highest risk area. That's the area where we get rejections all the time. And I've been talking about the global liquidity, the dollar, the gold, and many other aspects that are not there yet, including the Fed that is still in quantitative tightening. So it will be, if we manage to break from this could be considered a front run. Sometimes people just break out, cause the whales cause the price to break out right before all the things that need to happen, and they know that it's going to happen, and they just go all in, and they get their all-time high, and they continue to pushing higher. But don't get me wrong, those four aspects, at least three or two of them, are extremely important to sustain an impulsive move similar to what we saw in this area in here in 2020 and 2021. If you don't have that liquidity, it could turn into a fake out. So high risks there, sure, but a huge incentive when it comes to liquidity. You can see in here that once you break above the 70K, the price for them is just huge in terms of liquidity. It starts from 72.7 to 77 is the biggest for them, and they are gonna liquidate billions. Expect that if that happens, everybody in Twitter is gonna say this is the largest liquidation event in history for the shorts. Not surprised. Maybe something similar happened at the beginning of this bull market, but now we are at 21 billion in open interest, and a lot of that is from shorts. Let's have a look at the closest proximity. Where do we have liquidity? And let's see how this could play out. Can we continue going higher? I guess that's the question. We can see some shorts forming in here. It's not that much, but it's right there at the price. They are starting to enter in shorts, and incentive for the price to go lower. Well, we only have the 57. If we zoom in a little bit, we might see some levels, maybe at the beginning of 60K. There is some, but there is not a lot of longs that can be liquidated in here. Not a lot relative to what we are seeing at the top, and definitely at 67K there is a big price. So we want to continue going higher in here, get that 67K out of the way, and then enter into this area that we talk about, and actually challenge the resistance in there. If we get above this level, then it's going to be extremely easy, extremely fast and painless for all those shorts. They are not even going to be able to tell that they got liquidated at the time they wake up in the morning. Account is going to be gone if we get into that area. We are seeing as well a MACD bullish cross in here. That's on the daily time frame. That's great. We just had a bearish one. I have to also make you aware that we had another capitulation event on hash ribbons. Miners have been stressed relative to what happened in here is less stress. The separation of these two EMAs that represent how low is going the hash rate and the Bitcoin network it hasn't been that big, but it's been fluctuating between capitulation, recovery, and then another capitulation, just because the EMAs are constantly crossing each other. If they stay open, not in red, we are going to see a signal buy right after another recovery, I will guess. I think on the weekly, I got a buy signal, but I think it was a wrong signal. Let's have a look. Some people are looking at this in the 4-hour time frame, and there's obviously many more signals, a lot more noise. I prefer to use it on the daily, and I have the feeling that the original author was saying that you have to use it on the daily. Correct me if I'm wrong. And here we are seeing on the stochastic RSI on the weekly that we confirm the bearish cross that is not great, but at the same time in here we are putting higher lows on the RSI weekly, which is great. What we need this week is this candle to point up, invalidate this one, and just turn it into some flip like you have in here. Sometimes you can have a bearish cross in the middle of the range and then continue higher. That is possible, but for that we need to break the all-time high. I'm pretty sure that at the very least we need to get to 67k to cause an immediately next bullish crossover. That will be amazing. Let me see if I'm missing something for today's video. Well, fair value gaps, as usual, they are accumulating at the lower end, and this is emphasizing that the risk of getting at this top is that there is also a lot of new incentive in here to punish the liquidity coming from fair value gaps. Of course, that's always going to happen before breaking an all-time high. It's all a matter of who wins the arm wrestling. Where is the most liquidity? Where can they get more money from a move down, from a move up? And looking at trading different, there's actually a discount on this platform to get 15% in the description. Looking at that has really helped me putting it together with TA and other signals. So yeah, great. This is the update for the morning. I'm gonna just leave it here, and I'm probably gonna publish another video in the afternoon. Let's see after New York market open how things develop. Thanks so much. Make sure that you have a look at the links in the description. My favorite products, any of them that you open, you get bonuses, discounts, and it really supports my channel. See you on the next one. Bye bye.